Hello everybody, my name is Shu and welcome back to another CRL related video. Today we are going to be talking about probably the last big tournament before we can start doing predictions of our CRL power rankings. Of course, there is the colleague tournament happening in just a few days, but since that's so close to qualifiers, we're going to be doing our rankings before they happen. So this is the last big event happening, and that is the HUE Invitational. I don't know if it's called the HUE Invitational, but it's hosted by Harrisburg University. They invited a lot of really solid teams out, and we are looking to see how it goes. So let's just go ahead, scroll down real quick to talk about all the teams. You could see a little bit of um, the results, but we have some really big rosters. Maryville University, who has Night Stealth and Calyx, new roster coming in, who looked pretty solid in our last recap. Make sure to go check that out for a NASCAR related tournament. Really exciting stuff. We have Ole Miss, who another new team that has taken the scene by storm. We have George Mason University, we have Converse University, which I am not at all familiar with. So it's cool to see some other teams show up. IRSC, West Virginia, who most recently just won the Summer Series, Angel Tool and Daunt. Then we have St. Edwards, who I believe was second in that, Dino Jerome Wallace. UT Arlington, the second big tournament we are seeing from them without Samba, who was one of their long-standing star players. Illinois State University, and then Cumberland University, who I do not know, and of course Harrisburg University would have themselves, and they recently just got T. Corral, which is a pretty cool roster move. And also, Fisher College was supposed to show up to the event, however, they withdrew. I really wish that we could have seen them because, these are pro players. Just recently were the CRL runner-up for the World Championships. So it would have been nice to see how they do, since we also didn't see them during summer. But I guess we'll have to wait for the qualifiers to see, if they actually stick with how good we know they can be. So we're just going to go through real quick, talk about all of this. I don't think that there are many surprises during the round robin stage where all the teams played each other. West Virginia on top, Ole Miss second, Maryville and St. Edwards tying for third and fourth, of course, with Maryville having that game differential change. Then top four went to the a single elimination playoff bracket, but just looking at all the other teams, Illinois State pretty high up, and then Harrisburg University. While this is a team that, it's fairly new, we don't know much about. They do have T. Corral, so you have to expect that they do decently, going 5-5. And then UT Arlington, Cumberland, George Mason, pretty far down. Indiana River State, who actually I feel like we should talk about a little bit. First of all, Disruptor replaced Taco Stash for 2 of those games. And if we look at the IRSC roster, they don't have Seabass anymore, who was their most experienced, possibly their highest level player. So it's going to be interesting to see RSC. But those matches that they lost against Cumberland, or not lost, but played Cumberland and GMU. I just want to look real quick. They lost to GMU and lost to Cumberland. So there's a chance that they could have done slightly better had they had their main roster. Who knows? Hard to tell. And then Converse University sadly won a single game against, or Converse won a single game against Cumberland. So just some interesting stuff. Lots of stuff happening here for obviously the round robin. And in the end, I think what this is the most important thing is that these were clearly the top 4 teams coming into this. I guess you could probably give Illinois State a little bit of a shout because they looked decent in the summer series. But we have St. Edwards actually beating West Virginia in a game 5. I don't know the individual game scores, but a really interesting thing to see there. Ole Miss beating Maryville, I think slightly less of a surprise. Ole Miss looked incredible during Summer Series, and Maryville, still a fairly new roster, and then St. Edward's beating Ole Miss. I think that this is maybe a little bit of a surprise. Obviously, West Virginia had just recently won Summer Series. Ole Miss was making a pretty strong case for themselves, beating Northwood Blue in the playoffs of Summer Series, but losing to Boise, who St. Edwards did beat. So I guess this makes sense, but St. Edwards getting revenge for the Summer Series because St. Edwards was the runner-up of Summer Series, losing to West Virginia. So it's really good to see some Western Conference teams giving up a pretty good fight against the East. Excited to see how they do. Of course, this is all going to culminate in the power rankings that are, well, I guess not really power rankings, but my personal rankings for what I'm going to think of each conference coming in the next couple of days. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to go like and subscribe down below. This is a brand new channel. You guys have been doing great with all the support of watching the videos and stuff like that. But, kind of want to grow. So subscribe down below. You can do it. I know. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.